Shout out to Baby Smack. What's up, YouTube? Today, we have the life of Ness Swig Young, an original Van Ness boy. Welcome to another episode of Kev Mac Video Profiles.
Kev Mac Video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac Video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. Kev Mac Video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac Video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. For the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6-4s on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you been through, shit you had to go tend to. Your mama gave birth on the turf, I know them killers you kin to. This for the lost generation, broke as hell, mad and impatient. But if you know your history, you can't have a strong foundation, baby. Kev Mac Video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac Video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby. Kev Mac Video, you know, this is for sure. Kev Mac Video, open your soul, represent your ghetto, baby.
Ness Swig Young was born on June 25th, 1953 in sunny Los Angeles, California. His father, Cornelius Young, was born in Louisiana in 1915, and his mom was born in Little Rock, Arkansas in 1921. In 1938, they moved to Los Angeles, settling in the historic Central Avenue area, an epicenter for African American art, literature, and most notably, jazz music. By 1941, the Young family had relocated to South Zamora Avenue in the working class community of Watts. Swig's father worked as a chauffeur, but that same year, he also enlisted in the U.S. Army. As a corporal during World War II, he held leadership responsibilities and oversaw junior enlisted personnel. In the 1960s, the family packed up and moved to the west side, settling on Arlington Avenue near 54th Street and Van Ness. Swig and his brother, Connie, were inseparable. You rarely heard one name without the other. The Youngs also have other siblings, but rarely are they mentioned by outsiders. In 1962, just days before Christmas, Swig was hospitalized for surgery to correct a foot defect. However, complications arose, and a month later, he had to undergo a leg amputation. Despite this life-altering event, Swig refused to let it define him. A passionate football enthusiast, he continued to play the sport, undeterred by his artificial leg. In 1965, Swig won a lawsuit for over $90,000. His cut was over $59,000, which his grandmother, Miss Irene, managed. Known for his determination and work ethic, much like his father, Swig enjoyed making money, riding mini bikes, and driving nice cars. By the late 1960s, a group known as the Van Ness Boys emerged, with Swig playing a key role in its foundation.
So what was going on was that Swig, you know, his name is Ness Young. They was established. They was the Van Ness gang, okay? And they was established, and that's who, when we come to the park, you know, we was influenced by. And like a lot of guys, you know, that I said that would go there, you know, like Perry Manuel. Perry Manuel used to go to the park too. Perry, me and Perry's good. Perry used to go to the park. You know, everybody used to go to the park that wasn't scared because of the Van Ness gang. You know what I'm saying? But had their own mind. You know, that they wasn't part of the Van Ness gang. You know, because we was kids, we would go up there, you know, and didn't care about, you know, that, you know.
So it sounds like the Van Ness gang was the first local gang before the Crips infiltrated the neighborhood. Before the Crips, it was Van Ness, or were they?
No, it was like West Side Crips. Well, there was West Side Crips, and then there was the Van Ness gang in the hood.
So the West Side Crips were already in the '60s already.
Yeah, in the '60s already. Yeah, and then they came later on with the 6-0.
Around 1972, following the murder of Lil Country, a member of the Brims, tensions escalated between the Brims and the Crips, two loosely organized groups responsible for violent conflict. Seeking strength and unity, some Brims, along with Swig and the Van Ness Boys, began calling themselves the Van Brims. This term remained significant among those who were active participants during the early 1970s.
Who were the big names at Van Ness Park when you were a kid? Who were the Van Ness Boys?
Okay, you had Swig, Darnish Young, you had Reese Rat, you had Bill Davis, you had you had a lot of guys, just because those guys, you had Big Daddy-O, you know, you had the Davises. They was a big family, right? They stayed right there on Van Ness and 54th, right before it go to Arlington. And they stayed in those houses, but they turned it into the bus station, the RTD. That bus station wasn't there. They turned it to the RTD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they was there, you know, and it was the Davises and the Youngs with the big families. And they were mostly the Van Ness gang. Raymond.
When did the RTD bus station get built?
RTD probably started getting built. If we were there in, because we used to go to juvenile hall and shit, man, they'd had to have been in the later 60s,
Okay.
you know, that they built it.
Finish the roll call.
Okay, you have Raymond Davis, you know, like I said, Bill Davis, you know.
You're not throwing Donald Ray in there?
Oh yeah, Donald Ray, without a doubt.
Connie?
Donald Ray, oh yeah, Donald Ray County, yeah, Connie, yeah, I just spoke to Connie the other day. Yeah, Connie, without a doubt, because he's a young, see, but I'm clarifying that now. When I say young, I know y'all don't know everybody, but yeah, Connie, yeah.
So, out of all these guys you named, this crew, these founders of the Van Ness Boys, what was special about them to make you say, I want to be part of that group and not part of the group that I grew up with?
Well, I think because the guys at the park, it was more shit going on. You know what I'm saying? It was more shit going on there, man. And you had hustlers there too. You know, you had hustlers with, man, girls with short skirts, dudes had jewelry on, you know, fly cars. And that I was attracted to that shit, man. You know, I was attracted to that. And like I said, the dudes that was in my hood right in the 60s, I'd say, come on, let's roll. Let's go to the park. But, you know, they was feeling some kind of way because they was like, this shit, we Crips, you know, fuck that, you know. So that's what attracted me.
So the VNGs was hustling in their infant stages?
Well, you had some that would, you know, but it's like this dude named Jerry, you know, Jerry Clark. He was a hustler, you know what I'm saying? And like a lot of older dudes, I don't know all their names, but they were hustlers. They would come to the park, and they, like I said, they'd be jeweled down, you know, bras with high heels on and all that.
What was the hustle in the late 60s, early 70s in the Van Ness Park area? What were they hustling?
Counterfeit money. You know, they used to get the little dudes to go, cash in them $20 bills, you know, go in the store, break them with a note for cigarettes, you know, write a fake note up, go in there, you get a pack of cigarettes, you give them the 20, they bust it, you know. So we hustle a lot, you know.
Crenshaw High School, the home base for the Van Ness Boys in the early 70s, became a battleground. In Michael Jourdain's book, Hood Legends, he describes Swig as a natural leader, like his father, but with a different kind of army. His soldiers were the Van Ness Boys, who after a pivotal meeting with Terry from the Brims, officially became the Van Ness Gangster Brims. Their primary adversary, the Crips.
When I started cripping back then in '70, we had the Van Ness Boys, VNGs they call them now. We used to fight with one of them, Swig. He had the peg leg and stuff. So he was the one that really we was fighting with because that was closest to us.
Like I said, it was Tookie in there, man. They would be up at the school, so you would hear about West Side Crips. You know, it was West Side Crips. Tookie. Raymond Washington.
I never personally, you know what I'm saying, had a one-on-one with Tookie. Matter of fact, I never, but with Tookie, I had a shotgun shell with his name on it.
A much younger Michael Jourdain came up with the VN gang sign, but OG Swig was no doubt the leader. By December of 1972, violence between the Brims and Westside Crips had escalated so severely that the principal of Crenshaw High School described the school as Fort Crenshaw. Jourdain's book recounts the potential for violence. As sure as water is wet, Chucky Madison of the Magnificent Seven was shot in the school parking lot, confirming that war was inevitable.
Then you had you had Cutes and you had Gary Lane, you had Mouse, you had Rusty, you had all them dudes, man, and they had their own thing, Magnificent Seven.
Over time, the VNGs, or Van Ness Gangsters, added 5-4 to their name, becoming the 54th Street VNGs, known as they are today.
Now, what I can really say about, a lot of people don't know, since I was cripping back in '71, one of the first ones, we were Crips in the jungle. We were there before the Bloods got there. So a lot of people really don't know that. So in a sense, our only enemies at that time in the early '70s up here in the Overhills now was the VNGs and Inglewood. A matter of fact, it was just Brims at that time.
Right.
In 1979, a tragic event took place on 37th Street in St. Andrews in southwest Los Angeles. 21-year-old Dean Scott Kirshner, originally from Washington but residing in Santa Monica, was shot and killed while selling pots and pans from his van. Witnesses described two suspects fleeing in a shiny white 1969 Rolls Royce, providing the LAPD with a partial license plate number. 30 minutes later, officers pulled over the vehicle and arrested the driver, Swig. However, he avoided conviction after an associate claimed ownership of the car. Escaping murder charges wasn't enough to stop Swig from his hustle. The following March, Swig was arrested for suspicion of burglary on a California police equipment store on Pico Boulevard. The police recovered several weapons and two suspects. On June 23, 1980, during an attempt to leave a spot with speakers, he was fatally shot by a security guard. It was said he died in his brother's arms. In 1992, the VNGs and the Rolling 60 Crips had a truce that lasted less than a week. Swig's dad died May 30th, 1993. One of the most well-known members of the VNGs is Keith Ace Capone Fudge, also known as Uno. He was once housed on San Quentin's death row before its recent dismantling, which led to the relocation of inmates to some of California's most notorious prisons. Rest in peace to OG Swig, an original Van Ness boy, and a key figure behind the Brims. That's gonna do it for this episode of Kev Mac Video Profiles. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to click that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. If you from Brims, let us know what set you from. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.